Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Silepe. If you are new here, welcome home. I hope you're here to stay. As I said, my name is Silepe. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a corporate girl. I like to talk all things career, getting a job, keeping a job, going to that interview, that sort of thing. And I also like to put out my mommy content, my wifey content. So I've got videos on all those aspects of my life. Please go check them out. I've got my weddings if you're into that sort of thing. I've got my birth story, the whole thing. I've got it all. So please go check out my other videos. I will link them down below so that you can check them out after this one. So yeah, let's get on to this video. This video is about standing out in a crowd, whichever crowd that is, especially if it's a crowd of people that are there for the same interview as you want to stand out. So companies obviously will not call you alone to come and interview. There's somebody else or other people that are there to interview. Just an example with my first interview, my first real interview, I'm not sure what the other stuff were. I'm joking, but my first real interview, it was myself and 7 other people, right? So it was 8 of us and they had to choose 2. So I already spoke about how my CV got selected because it was a pool of I think 250, I just don't remember, but it was in the hundreds, 250 let's just say, CVs, my CV got selected. I spoke a little bit about that on the how to get into the media industry video. Okay, so please go check that out there. I'll also link it down below, but that's one of the ways how your CV gets selected from a pool of other CVs. Well, now that you're selected, your CV has been selected and you're coming to interview, just remember that it's not just you, there's other people. I mean, regardless of how small or big the company is, there's usually other people that will interview for the same job as you. So you must be prepared and you must outshine them. I mean, it's just as simple as that. We always talk about, no, I'm not here to compete. I used to enter pageants, just by the way. And the thing I used to notice is that a lot of girls would be like, I'm not here to compete. No, I'm just doing this for fun. I was just like, but honestly, you want to tell me that you don't want to win? Like, honestly, because I was very honest about wanting to win. I was like, I'm here to win, That was just my thing. I was just like, I'm here to win and that's that. Like, honestly, what other reason am I here for? Just to, why, Of course, it's not to say that if I don't win, I'm gonna go and hang myself or something like that. No, but the first prize here is for me to win. You know what I mean? Second prize is, it didn't work out, but at least I had fun. You know what I mean? That's kind of it. But otherwise I was just there to win. So in a pageant, especially in a pageant, you have to stand out. You have to stand out because first of all, the auditions are crazy. Auditions is so many girls, all of you are wearing pretty much the same thing. So that's it gets tricky there because a lot of us are wearing white t-shirts and jeans because they usually tell you what to wear. Then you go to this public place. Well, back in my day anyways, I don't even know what happens in this today. But anyways, back in my day, you'd go to a mall or whatever where they call maybe a hotel. All of you are wearing similar clothes. They'll tell you what to wear. When you get there, you put on your heels, you wear whatever it is that they said you must wear, and then you do the thing. So you walk up and down the aisle, and then if you get selected, so a certain group will get selected to go and speak. If they like what they see, then you can speak. So it's basically first impressions. Then the second thing is that you can speak. So they'll ask you a random question or maybe you'll go introduce yourself. Actually, it's saying, tell us about yourself. They tell you guys, just introduce yourself, and then people will go and be like, ha ha ha, and then leave a little quote. So yeah, that's basically what it was. But you had to stand out. You had to stand out. For you to be selected to come and speak, you had to have stood out just by them looking at you. And then for you to be able to get through to whatever round, you had to say something that will make them feel wow. And also for them to remember you, because there's just a lot of girls, they're all skinny, they're all tall, they're all this, they're all that. So you have to stand out, you know what I mean? That's the thing with pageants, I had to stand out there. So that's really where I learned the art of standing out. And then I got to an interview and I did exactly the same thing. It was so natural for me because it was exactly like pageants, you know what I mean? It was literally exactly like pageants. The only difference, and I even said this in an interview, because remember I told you that I spoke about all All of my things, the things that I did in the past, I spoke about them there. All my achievements, like all my life achievements, at that point, obviously you don't have a lot. Well, if you do, great, talk about those. But if you don't, just talk about the things that you did and they make you proud. You know, you can actually sit there and talk about these things. So yeah, do that for yourself. Talk about these things because you really want them to remember certain things. Not everybody would have been in a pageant or whatever, so they obviously remember those little stories of yours that probably meant nothing to them, but you know, it's one of the reasons why they remembered you. So I'll give you a few tips. Really, it's just like a simple step-by-step thing. So number one, it's obviously about first impressions. You're either going to do it virtually or you're going to walk in, which I prefer walking in because I feel like walking in is so great. They'll see everything from the way I walk to the way I carry myself, you know, in the room, when I put my bag, you know, on the other chair or on the table or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So just all those things, for me, they matter, and I thrive in that area because obviously I'm, you know, from a pageant background, so I know how to, the whole etiquette thing, acting like a lady, this and that and that. I've got that. I used to do that. Like for all my pageants, they teach you a lot of that, and you just naturally get there because, you know, that's kind of the person you are. So anyways, you're walking in, you must look the part. And by look the part, I mean you must dress the part, but also you must carry yourself in a certain way, you know, like in a comfortable way. So I won't say be like me and act like a lady because that's what I do, but that's not what everybody should do. Be yourself, be comfortable. See, if you're comfortable, then you're able to show the best version of you. Even when you go and sit down, even when you do whatever, it's who you are, and it shows that you actually, this is who this person is. You know, I remember one time we held this interview, we were interviewing people for a bursary, and this lady came in and they were all like, you know, she was like, yeah, like this, and I could tell this is who she is, and I liked the fact that she was so much herself. And also it was an interview, it was a bursary interview, so I mean I wasn't expecting somebody to come in high heels and whatever, but the person was just so comfortable, and that's, for me, that's what sold me. And I even said to the other ladies, I like the fact that this is herself, this is who she is, you know, she's very comfortable and she's just being herself, and I love it. You know, I'm here for it. Like, she's unapologetic about who she is, so be that as well. Just carry yourself in your best version. Whatever your best version is, do that. And also, when it comes to clothing, my advice to you would be to wear bright colors. No, wear bold colors. A bold color, maybe not colors. I remember for my first interview, I wore a blue blazer. It was very, like, it was royal blue blazer and a white dress. Like, the white dress was, you know, like a formal-ish type of dress. I mean, you know, you could pull it off as a cocktail dress, but you know, you can also pull it off as a formal dress if you throw in a little blazer and then high heels. So I did that, black high heels, a blue blazer and a cute little dress underneath. It wasn't short or anything. I didn't want to give that impression that, you know, you don't want to give that impression. Please do not. So anyways, it was just normal, you know, normal height. It was like just I think just on my knees or a little bit above, whatever. And yeah, so you know, everything was just, it just worked. I had like a cute little handbag as well, so everything for me just worked out. I feel like the outfit really said a lot, because even when I came back to go work there, the receptionist remembered me. She said, yeah, I actually don't remember what the other ladies were, but I remember you because you were wearing that cute little white dress and the blue blazer. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting that you remember me. But yeah, that's the thing. She remembered how I looked. It wasn't what I said to her, it was how I looked. That's the reason why she remembered me, the receptionist. I mean, obviously, the person that did the interviews maybe, perhaps, also remembered me because of that first, and then obviously the stuff that I did in the interview, which I will share with you. Okay, the second one. I hope this doesn't become too much of a long video, but I'm going to try and be quick with these things, with the next ones. So the second one is, remember their names. Please remember their names. So if a person says hi, I mean, usually they'll shake your hand. I mean, well, gosh, we are in COVID-19 times now. By the way, the previous tip also counts if it's now virtual, because you want them to remember you. So, you know, be rememberable here. Even if you're wearing like your your sweatpants, whatever. But up here, you must just look presentable, look nice, and be pleasant. That's the thing. Number 2 is remember their names. So the initial thing would be for them to introduce themselves. I mean, I see it a lot online. So online they'll say, hi, my name is Bambani, this is what I do. And then, hi, my name is Watotota, this is what I do. Everyone will introduce themselves, whoever that's on the call. And then, but also in person, and then they'll ask you a question to, basically tell them about yourself. They always ask, tell us about yourself question, always, like always. So always practice that question because it will come. Don't think that they'll try and be different. They will not. They will ask the question. so anyways, you remember those names and try to remember what they do, but you don't have to dwell on that. Just remember the names. It's very important. And when you do ask questions, ask the questions, address people by their names, whatever they introduce themselves as. If somebody said, I'm Mrs. Banban, like say if I would say I'm Mrs. Silepe, then that means I want you to call me Mrs. Silepe. Then it's fine, just call me Mrs. Silepe. Say, so Mrs. Silepe. I mean, that's weird. I don't think anyone would ever do that. Ew. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Tell me if you've actually been in an interview where somebody referred to themselves as Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. Anyways, I've never been, and thank God. So if somebody says, hi, my name is Deliwe and I head the what team and blah blah blah, and then they move on to the other one. So when you ask them a question, just say, I actually do have a question for you, Deliwe. Please let me know. Please tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever the case is, right? So that's number 2, which brings me to the next one. Please ask interesting questions. Like, I know this is like so common. Everybody tells you about this, but please just ask interesting questions. Google the most interesting questions to ask in an interview. You will find them. But please prepare for that. Like, just prepare for your tell us about yourself question and your questions, because you'll be asked if you have any questions. Do have questions, but also just ask people individually. I guess this is something that like I spoke before about putting your back in your the body of your male. This is a similar thing. You have to really think on the spot. You have to think about an interesting way of asking or an interesting thing to ask right at that moment, or just decide who you ask what. So I'll give you an example. If there's a junior person and then there's a senior person, and you can tell these things, by the way, from the way they introduce themselves, but also they'll say, my name is Ban and I'm here because I work under who and who, and yeah, this is what I do. So you're already gauging which, okay, this one is kind of junior, or like probably the most junior person here. This one is like senior. This is like the boss of the bosses. That's the one. So yeah, and then you can sort of tell. So you want to obviously impress everybody, but remember that each person is different. So you want to ask them like separate questions. So just maybe ask a question that's general and see who picks it up, and then ask another direct question to somebody else, but something easy, not something that will put somebody on the spot, but something easy enough for them to answer, but also that will make them remember that you asked them that question. For instance, if I was part of a panel, maybe somebody would ask me, so tell me, how's the experience for you, Deliwe, specifically for you? How's the experience of working here? Because you say you've been working here for 10 years, or whatever the case is. How's the experience for you? Because each person will kind of say something about themselves. You want to pick up that thing that they say about themselves and then ask them with that. You know what I mean? So just remember that. And then the next one is research about the company. Research as much as possible about the company. So you will hear about the people that are in the panel when you get there. If you're lucky enough, maybe they'll be in the email, they'll copy them if you're lucky. If they do, then just LinkedIn them. Just go on LinkedIn and check what each one does, so that you kind of have an idea of what you want to ask them, right? But if not, then you'll see everything when you get there. So when it comes to the company, honey, Google the company and Google their top achievements, what they shout about, their social media, whatever it is that they feel they need to put up there. Like, for instance, the company I work for right now has been independent media agency of the year for quite a while, so I knew when I went into for an interview that, oh, these guys are, you know, independent media agency of the year for last year, and you know, they're running again this year, blah blah blah, all of that. So I will congratulate them, you know what I mean? That's one of the things that I'll do. But you just find a nice way to edit in. If you don't find that way, maybe you just said through the whole thing and you're like, oh my gosh, there was just no opportunity for me to bring it up, then say it at the end. Like when they say anything else you'd like to say, just add it, you know, just add that and say, by the way, you guys, I have learned that, you know, you guys are, I don't know, just say something about, I was actually very proud when I got the call to come for this interview, because I know that you guys are a media agency, you know, your media agency of the year, I mean, independent media agency of the year, and this and that and that, and I saw you ran this campaign with so and so, which was amazing. You see, you're already making them feel special, so you want to do that. I mean, sometimes the people that work, they don't care, you know, it's just like, I work here, whatever, but you just want to put that forward, just to say, I did my research, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that the company finds important, maybe the company would have won, you know, independent media agency of the year, but they don't care about that. They didn't put it anywhere. It's not on their social media. It's nowhere. It's not on their LinkedIn account. Then it's fine. You don't have to. But the things that they put on their LinkedIn, on their social, I mean, on their other social media pages, on Instagram, whatever, if they have, whatever they put there, you must know that they find that important. Even if it's them giving back, you know, to some charity, just mention something like that, and, you know, say how proud you are to have been called to come and interview here because of this thing that they saw, whatever. But just remember, a lot of these things, like I said, be comfortable, but also be yourself. You know, it's so important to be yourself. So that actually brings me to my next point. So don't oversell things. Don't pretend like you're happy for them for winning whatever if you're not happy for them for winning whatever. If you're not, maybe just don't say it at all. Don't even go there, because, you know, people are very smart people. Like, I know I say this, it sounds weird, but people are very smart beings, like so clever that, you know, have you seen how you meet somebody for the first time and you're already getting the vibe that something is not right here? That's because something is probably not right here. You know what I mean? Whatever that may be, you'll soon find out anyways. Sooner or later you'll find out, but you already picked it up. So there's just something about a person that is, it just tells them, you know, the instinct, whatever you want to call it, but people are smart like that. So if you're out here being fake and whatever, and you're good at it, then cool. But if you're out here being fake and whatever, and we can see through you, then you are in trouble, because we'll know that, oh, it's the one that tried so hard, the one that she just looked a little fake or whatever. You know, you don't want to be that person. So yeah, just be as much of you as possible. Be yourself. Be comfortable at being yourself, and just, you know, be confident, be comfortable, be yourself. And be real, man, you know, just be as real as possible. So now this is my last one, and I hope you see this one. Like, I feel like when you do this, okay, I'll give you one bonus one. This is my last one, but then I'm gonna give you one bonus one. Like, it's so bonus, and it's so like, you know, you'll see. So my last one is that bring evidence. Bring, especially if it's a sit down interview like this, like I'm sitting with you, bring evidence. Even if it's not, even if it's like this, you know, like you're having an interview like this in your little office, and, you know, you're sitting in your chair and they're on the other side of the screen or on the laptop, then I would advise you to also bring your evidence. So if you did something, like for instance, because I'm actually, you interviewing, you wanting to stand out, especially when you don't have a lot of experience, you want to sit down and be as good as possible, but also show a lot of yourself. Like I always say, show a lot of personality, because they care about that, but also bring evidence of the things that you did that you actually want to talk about. For instance, I spoke about being a pageant queen and having entered Miss Beauty FM and all my achievements there and the things that I got to do. So I brought pictures. I printed pictures out and I brought them. I mean, it's funny now when I think about it, but I can imagine to the next person, to the person that did the interview, he was actually quite, maybe it was funny to him too, but it was also something that he won't forget. You know, it's not like he will leave the interview and be like, ah, no, he will remember that there was a girl. Out of the 8 people that came for the interview, there's that girl that brought pictures of the things she did, which obviously were like beautiful pictures of me with a crown doing things, you know. But just bring pictures, whatever it is. If, like I said, if you were in a committee back in varsity, or you did whatever, maybe you were heading the whatever project where you guys went to the townships or to wherever to give, or maybe you ran that thing where you give school shoes and whatever. If you were part of anything like that, take pictures and bring your pictures with, just bring evidence with you. And if you're presenting, actually, if it's online, you don't have to show them like this. You must actually have the pictures on soft copy, and then ask to share your screen, and then show them what you did, and just do a little bit of a presenting thing. And you don't have to be told to do such a thing. If you want to, you can. So same as when you get there in person, you must also whip out your file. I mean, I remember I took out my file and I showed them the things that I did, and especially things that were that were radio related, because it was a radio thing, it was mostly radio anyways. So yeah, that's what I did, and I'm hoping that you can do that too, and it can help you. Please remember, bring evidence. I mean, I keep saying this, but honestly it's true, because they don't know a lot about you, don't have a lot of experience, so bring the evidence. But if you do have experience, let your experience speak for you, but give them examples of the things that you did. And also, actually, if you can, bring the evidence. I mean, I remember I interviewed for a job and I told them what I did, and they were like, could you please send us what you did, just an example of what you did. You can hide out all the information that is that you can't show anyone, but just show us an overview of what you did, and you can PDF it, whatever. We just want to see what you did. So then that's when I learned. I was like, okay, fine, that means these people want to see, they really want evidence, because at this point everyone can come here and sing a very nice song, but we want to know that what you're saying is real, you see. So yeah, those are my tips, and I hope that you actually do get the job, you guys. When you go and interview, I hope you get the job. I hope you stand out. I hope everything works out for you. So I like to say this is a channel where you and I come together to just make our lives better in one way or another, whether it's you getting a job or you being better at interviews or whatever the case is. But you and I both come here to actually make each other better. That's basically what it is. So just like and subscribe, especially subscribe. Please do subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. This is my kind of thing, career talks, that whole thing. And yeah, man, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.